Absolute scenes at St. James's Park. Wow. Yo, I was definitely entertained. Final score, Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2. Arsenal snatch it at the end. Absolute crazy game. This game had everything. So please, before we get into anything, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, turn your notifications on. Some lovely stuff coming this week. I can't talk about it too much. You guys will see it if you follow me on my social media platforms. But anyway, let's get into this game. And I guess we should start with the controversies. Let's start with the Gyökeres penalty that was not given. Given initially, but not given. Do I think it's a penalty? Absolutely. Do I think it should have been overturned? Absolutely not. And the reason why I say this, and this is going to sound strange for some people because usually, I like to get onto Arsenal a little bit. I like to banter my Arsenal friends, who support the club. But anyway, I definitely think there should have been a penalty. You know what really annoys me about VAR sometimes is that when something happens in real time, it's not the same as when it happens in slow motion and then you stop it and you frame it and then you look at it and you zoom in and you zoom out. It makes it look 10 times worse sometimes than it actually was. And that's what ruins the game sometimes. Whether Nick Pope touched the ball or not, the initial contact of Gyökeres and Nick Pope's knee was there. And for me, as long as there's contact in the box, I think it should have been a penalty. So for the referee to even consider, as soon as he went to the screen, by the way, for me, I knew he was going to overturn the decision. So I think Arsenal got robbed there. And this is very strange for me to say it. A lot of people are going to look at this and go, Aaron, are you secretly an Arsenal fan? Don't worry, I'm not. But I'm just sticking up for Arsenal here because that definitely should have been a penalty. Let's move on to the second controversy. Was Nick Woltemade's push on Gabriel a foul? Absolutely not. That was proper centre forward play. He climbs up in the air, rises up in the air, heads it home to make it 1-0. You know why I'm saying this? Because if Gyökeres does this to Dan Burn, to Jamal Lascelles, to Malik Diaw, to Sven Botman, if he does that to any of those centre-backs that I've just named, we would not have heard the end of it. Oh, Gyökeres, proper centre-forward play, this, that, and the third. So for me, no foul. Third controversy of the game. Was Gabriel's handball legitimate? For me, no. If you're not going to give the Gyökeres penalty, surely you can't give that penalty that allegedly happened. Obviously, the ball does touch Gabriel's hand or arm, if you like. But for me, there are at least two other touches, being Elanga's foot when he takes the shot and Gabriel's shin or something like that. No penalty for me. That being said though, hindsight is always 20/20. You can always come back after the game and say, well, this should have happened and this could have happened. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Arsenal did what they had to do and initiated a crazy comeback. I think Mikel Arteta done the right substitutions. I actually think that the starting 11 for once was actually good. It was attacking. It was meant to win the game. And going to St. James's Park is not an easy task. Everyone knows this. Ask all the teams that went there and tried to win a game of football. It is extremely difficult with their fans being extremely loud like they always are. It's extremely difficult to go there and get 3 points. So for Arsenal, who notoriously in the past haven't always been able to go there and get 3 points, to go there and win the game, I think it deserves credit. From start to finish, I believe Arsenal were the better team. I think in the first half, what Newcastle done really well is that they were the bullies. Usually, it's Arsenal bullying other teams, especially on set pieces. But this time, Newcastle said, no, we're going to be the bullies and we're going to bully you and we're going to beat you at your own game. So yes, occasionally they would fly into tackles. So yes, occasionally you would see someone shoulder barge someone. They tried to beat Arsenal at their own game. And I think in the first half especially, let me make that clear because we're going to talk about the second half in a minute, they succeeded in that absolutely marvelously. Now back to my point about hindsight being 20/20. If Arsenal had lost this game, would I have sat here and said Arsenal lost this game because of the refereeing decision? No, I wouldn't have said that because guess what? And I tweeted this as well. After that Gyökeres incident, or the penalty that wasn't awarded, happened in the 14th minute, you heard what I said, right? They had way more than enough time to try and make something happen, which they did, and rightfully so, they deserve their credit. But from what I saw on social media, Arsenal fans were gearing up to blame the referee and say, well, we lost this game because of the referee. No, you would have lost this game if you did lose it because you didn't put the ball in the back of the net, because Arsenal created tons of chances, especially in the second half. They applied pressure. Newcastle stopped playing football at certain points because they knew that the pressure that Arsenal was putting on them was way too much. On top of that, Mikel Arteta was making subs. Mikel Merino came on. Odegaard came on. Martinelli came on. And in the end, those subs made the difference. Miles Lewis-Skelly as well, pushing up very high on that left-hand side. I think he had a chance as well where that ball was played in beautifully. I can't remember who played that pass, but that was an amazing pass. Arsenal had enough chances to win this game. And in the end, it paid off. We talked about Voitamada's goal already. The way he rose up in the air and just towered over Gabriel, that was absolutely fantastic. Proper centre-forward play. But equally, Arsenal's goals, we have to talk about them. The first one, the delivery from Declan Rice inside the box. Mikel Merino, yet again with another header. It's crazy at this point. He's becoming some sort of an aerial demon or something. Gets the goal, the equaliser. And this time, Arsenal, they did not celebrate at the corner flag. They went back to the centre circle and tried to win the game. And this is how you become champions. If you want to win this league, these are the mentalities that you have to have. And speaking of mentalities, I think Arsenal had the right one. And Newcastle, in my opinion, had the worst one from the two, because for you to play the way you played in the first half, I'm not going to say dominate Arsenal, but beating them at their own game, being bullies, being all up in their faces, to go from that to then play the way you played in the second half, very, very harmless and not really posing any threat. They made good substitutions. Elanga came on, Harvey Barnes came on, but I don't think it was enough. Ultimately, you could possibly say that Arsenal just had the better quality. They had the better players on the pitch to make more stuff happen. So I think in terms of mentalities, Arsenal definitely had the right one today. And with 2 minutes to go, already being in stoppage time, by the way, Arsenal get the winner. How? Corner kick, of course. Odegaard gets the delivery. Gabriel rises above everyone in the box. I don't know how he was allowed to do that. That was really poor marking from the whole Newcastle team in that box. Gabriel rises up in the air, heads it home to make it 2-1. And like I said at the beginning of the video, you can't say it's not deserved. I would love to sit here and hate on Arsenal. I really would love to, but I can't, because what they done today, that performance, compared to the Man City performance, that performance from Arsenal against Newcastle showed me, okay, they do actually want to win this league, because the mentality from last week was very questionable. You know, scoring an equaliser, running to the corner flag, wasting time that you could have used to actually win the game against Man City. That time wasn't wasted today. They scored the equaliser, straight back to the centre circle. Let's win this game. And that's what they've done today. And only that mentality will get you to win silverware. And now Arsenal have done that. They got the win, got the 3 points ahead of their Champions League fixture against Olympiacos during the week. But most importantly, with Liverpool losing, with Man United losing, with Chelsea losing, with Tottenham drawing, Arsenal closed the gap on Liverpool. Arsenal are now sitting in second with 13 points, and Liverpool are still top of the league with 15 points. And listen, I've said it before the league even started. City can do a thing, but I think Arsenal are genuine contenders for this league with Liverpool. If it's not Arsenal, I don't see anyone else. Now listen, Arsenal can still have their mishaps here and there. They can have their little down performances from time to time, like against the Man City. But ultimately, I think if Arteta sets up his team to win first, like he did today, and if he makes the right subs, I don't see Arsenal not winning this league, because they've got the depth. Yes, they got injuries, but clearly today, they didn't really care about the injuries. They didn't have to think about the injuries, because they can chop and change, and it can replace quality with quality. Mosquera came off, Saliba came on. Saka came off, Martinelli came on. Trossard came off, Odegaard came on. Zubimendi came off, Merino came on. So they have the quality to replace like for like. Arsenal winning the league all depends on how Mikel Arteta sets up his team. And as long as he sets up his team like he did today, I believe they can actually win it. As much as it pains me to say, I think they can win it. So Listen, yeah, I fully enjoyed this game. Fully enjoyed this game. But I have to talk about Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres, I talked about his touch. I talked about the physicality in the Premier League being different gravy. And I think today, especially today, he got a proper taste of it. Oh my God. Sven Botman, Malik Diao, who just joined the Premier League not too long ago from AC Milan. They absolutely took care of this guy. Dan Burn as well. Gyökeres did not have a sniff. I looked at him and I went, welcome to the Premier League, my brother. Honestly, that was a lesson for Gyökeres today. And just in general, his touches sometimes are poor. You play the ball into him and it bounces off his shin, bounces off his foot. And you guys already know how much I put emphasis on fundamentals being vital. If your fundamentals are right, they can actually determine how far you can go in football. Don't underestimate these things, you know. You can be the best goal scorer in the world, but if your fundamentals are wrong, my friends, you will struggle. And today, Gyökeres tried to go band for band with Dan Burn, Malik Diao, and Sven Botman, and thought, yeah, I can hold my own against these, man. Physicality, innit? Them three defenders said, no, not today, mate. Not today, Victor. So listen, let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Arsenal fans, let me hear your thoughts, man. Newcastle fans, if there's any in here, let me know your thoughts as well. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It's road to 20K, closing in on 19. Something very fun coming tomorrow. Make sure you keep your eyes locked on my social media. We're flying away. But anyway, I gotta keep it quiet until I actually get there. Anyway, people, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.